This video will provide you guidance for installing the Yale Assure Lock Interconnect. As noted in the instruction manual, here are the components. First, you have the exterior side of the lock set, the interior side of the lock set, the interior mounting bracket, 2 levers, 2 long through bolts, 2 shorter through bolts, latch with 2 mounting wood screws, 2 strike plates with 4 mounting wood screws, deadbolt and 2 latches, 5 machine screws, full installation manual with programming instructions, battery cover, 4 AA batteries, 2 keys, door marking template, and in some cases, depending on model purchased, you will have a Yale Network module or Yale Accentra module and/or fire cups. Your module may already be inserted in the interior side of the lock, above the battery compartment, or it may be packaged separately. Before installing the latch, make sure your door has been prepped according to specifications listed on the door template included with the lock, and remove any existing hardware. The cross bore holes must be 2 1/8 inches in diameter. The distance between the center of each cross bore hole must be 4 inches or 5½ inches depending on which interconnected product you have. The edge bore holes must be 1 inch in diameter. The back set should be 2 3/8 or 2 3/4 inches. To install the lock, you will need a Phillips head screwdriver and a drill. Let's start by determining your door handing. Stand on the side of the door from which you would initially unlock and enter. First, determine if your door opens inward or outward. Then, determine if your hinges are on your left or your right. The lock set is set as a right hand by default. If necessary, adjust your handing by first removing the bracket. Then, remove the handing mechanism and reverse it so the LH is hooked into place. Now, let's install the deadbolt latch, which can be adjusted so it has a back set of 2 3/8 inches or 2 3/4 inches. The latch is set at 2 3/8 inches by default. Ensure the latch is in the retracted and unlocked position to adjust and install. Adjust the latch to 2 3/8 inches if you require a longer length. The latch must remain in the retracted, unlocked position for installation. Slide the latch into the door, ensuring that the up arrow is facing upwards. Check to see that the latch's horizontal rectangular hole is centered exactly in the cross bore hole. Insert 2 wood screws and tighten. Install the strike on the door frame with 2 wood screws. Now, let's install the lever latch bolt. Choose the correct lever latch bolt for your back set and slide it into the bottom edge bore hole, ensuring that the curved edge faces the direction in which the door closes. Secure with 2 latch screws. Install the latch strike on the door frame with 2 wood screws. Now, we will install the exterior side of the deadbolt. Position the exterior side of the lock so that it sits flush on the outside of your door and guide the cable under the latch. The tailpiece should slide into the horizontal rectangular hole in the deadbolt. Next, we will install the interior mounting bracket. Guide the cable through the hole in the mounting bracket. Line up the mounting bracket so that the second bore hole is clear for the lever. Make sure the mounting bracket is flush with the door and straight before securing with 2 long through bolts. Make sure you tighten them down, but be careful not to over-tighten them. Install the exterior lever lock chassis and secure with the 2 shorter through bolts. Secure the mounting bracket with 2 screws. Test that the lock is working properly by locking and unlocking the deadbolt with the key provided several times and rotating the lever. Do this both with the door open and closed. Complete the testing with the deadbolt in the retracted, unlocked position. Now, install the interior side of the lock. First, take the cable and attach it to the adapter located on the interior side of the lock. The cable has 2 ridges on either side. These ridges should be facing outwards when you attach to the adapter. Ensure that the cable is securely fastened in the adapter and is not loose. Be sure to sit the cable under the cable hook located on the interior side of the lock. Next, we will move the cable out of the way to insert the tailpiece into the thumb turn shaft on the interior side of the lock. The tailpiece should match the orientation of the rectangular slot on the interior side of the lock. Adjust the orientation of this slot by rotating the thumb turn. Adjust the cable so that the interior side of the lock can sit flush. Insert 2 of the small black screws into the provided holes in the battery compartment and tighten. The third screw should be placed in the hole at the bottom of the lock and tightened. Install the interior lever by snapping it into place on the chassis. Test the lever latch bolt by rotating the lever from both the interior and exterior sides of the door. Test the deadbolt by rotating the interior thumb turn several times. Leave the deadbolt in the retracted, unlocked position. If the network module has not already been inserted, do so now before the batteries are inserted. Now, insert the 4 AA batteries. Install the battery cover and tighten the screw at the top. Now, we will set your master PIN code. Touch the lock keypad with 3 fingers to wake it. Press gear. Press 1. Press gear. Enter a master PIN code that's 4 to 8 digits long. Press gear to complete. After creating the master PIN code, press any key to hand the lock. This teaches the lock which way to extend the bolt for your door. For steps on how to connect your lock to a smart home or alarm system, follow the instructions provided by your system's app. That completes the guide for installing your Yale Assure Lock Interconnect.